December 27th is marked every year as the death anniversary of Benazir Bhutto, one of the greatest leaders of the world and the first Muslim woman to head an Islamic country. She was an epitome of courage, resoluteness, steadfastness, and resilience. Her intrepidity is eulogized not only by her die-hard ideologues but also by her worst detractors. Her life is characterized by an indefatigable struggle against the forces of dictatorship and fascism. She left no stone unturned to get democratic ethos entrenched in political, social, and economic order of the country. Benazir was born on June 21st, 1953, the first of four children in a well-to-do, land-owning family of the province of Sindh. She grew up in surroundings that had the trappings of perks of Pakistan's post-colonial English-speaking elite. She was attended to by an English governess, was called Pinky due to her rosy complexion, and was enrolled in a convent school. At 16, Benazir had to leave for the Radcliffe College, Harvard University, for which she was not mentally prepared. I cried and cried and cried because I had never walked to classes in my life before, she once told in an interview. I would always been driven to school in a car and picked up in a car, and here I had to walk and walk and walk. It was cold, bitterly cold, and I hated it. But it forced me to grow up. From Harvard, Benazir on to the Oxford University to study politics, philosophy, and economics. Oxford was the arena where she honed her debating skills by becoming the first foreign woman to be elected president of the prestigious Oxford Union. She was a brilliant student and excelled in oratory at Harvard and Oxford. After completion of her studies, Benazir aspired to be a diplomat, but circumstances led her to continue her father's legacy as a political leader. Soon after her return in 1977, her father was ousted as the prime minister in a military coup and imprisoned, and martial law was declared. 2 years later, Bhutto was executed, which became the defining moment in Benazir's life, launching her full-time into politics. I told him on the oath in his death cell that I would carry on his work, Benazir once told. Benazir faced constant character assassination, perpetual resistance from mullahs who would try to stir up public's emotions by proclaiming that a government headed by a woman was un-Islamic, and persistent refusal by army generals to salute a female prime minister. Yet she managed to leave behind a legacy of commitment to democracy, economic empowerment of the downtrodden, and social equality that is rivaled by only the one left by her father. During her tenure, Benazir strived hard to elevate the status of Pakistani women. She employed all of her resources for the betterment of women folk. She established the first women bank, a separate ministry for women affairs, inducted female judges in judiciary, made a separate police station for women, directed 5% quota for women in every government department, set up Muslim Women's Parliamentary Union, established Women's Sport Board, and restored women seats in national and provincial assemblies. However, even after her death, Benazir continues to rule over hearts and minds, regardless of the fact that she led quite an unusual life. As she was once quoted to have said, "I have led an unusual life. I have buried a father killed at the age of 50 and two brothers killed in the prime of their lives. I raised my children as a single mother when my husband was arrested and held for 8 years without a conviction, a hostage to my political career." Benazir was undoubtedly a woman of great achievements. Some of her achievements came to limelight and were acknowledged even after her death, as is the case with a posthumous United Nations Human Rights Prize conferred on her in 2008. Benazir was like a phoenix that rose from the ashes time and again. She proved herself as an iron lady through her tragic death in a suicide blast at the height of her election campaign in 2007. Benazir, despite having life threats, did not falter and continued her struggle with unwavering determination to achieve her ideals. Hence, a lesson of steadfastness, courage, and boldness can be learned from her glorious life.